Okay, so we're going to go back to our minigames list HTML now that it's working. And we're going to delete this header. We're going to be making our own later. So in ion content, so we're going to create a div with class equals container. This is going to hold all of our content. And then inside of that, we're going to create an h1 where class equals header. And then we're just going to make it say minigames. Now remember, if you have no idea what this means, please check out the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript tutorials. Then we're going to make another div with the class equal to cards dash container. And then we're going to have another div where class equals card. And then inside of that, we're going to have an image. And we are going to have a paragraph tag that has the minigame name. Okay, so I made a little diagram in Paint to sort of display what this is going to mean. So we're going to have this container, which is going to be our page container. And it's going to allow us to make everything have a border in the middle. So as you can see, there's going to be sides that are unused. So our page container is going to say, we don't want these sides being used. We're going to push everything together. Then we have our header, which is going to say minigames. And then we have our cards container. So our cards are going to be the minigames. And you're going to click on the card and it's going to bring you to the minigame. So we've got our cards container, which holds all of them. And this is going to have a scroll. So if we just click here, whoops, and then I make it black to make it a little more understandable. So this is going to have like a scroll bar, and you're going to be able to scroll through a list of minigames here. And hopefully this helps to kind of show you exactly what we're going to be doing. Now, these borders aren't going to be there. They're just to make it easy for you to see sort of what's going on. And obviously we're going to make it look good. This is done in Paint. But yeah, sometimes it's good before you start coding to just map things out like this, so you can sort of get an idea of what you're doing before you get too deep. So if we save our page, which is Control S, and then we go back to our app, you'll see that we have minigames, and then we have our minigame name, and none of it's looking quite right. So if we go back to our diagram, the first thing we need to do is take this container and make sure that it is having everything pushed in closer to the middle. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick. If we just right click the screen, it will display all of our elements that we created in our HTML, and we can use CSS right in here. You'll know this if you saw the CSS video, but basically we're going to take our container and then we're going to type in margin dash left and maybe set it to 10%. And then we can do the same thing for the margin dash right. It's not going to really do anything because we don't have anything on the right yet. But you'll see if we highlight this, we're going to see orange on the screen. That's the margin. So that's essentially this. So if I just paint that, you'll see the margin is here. So we're going to also have a margin top of 10%. That's a little much. Maybe 5 will be fine. Okay, so now if we look at this, it looks like it's pretty good. You'll notice that the blue part only goes down to minigame name rather than the whole screen. And that's fine because as we add in more content, it will automatically expand for us. So if we refresh our page right now, all of these changes will be gone because we edit it over here in the actual instance of the file in our web browser. We need to edit it in Visual Studio Code. This is just for testing. But if we highlight all of it and then click copy, we can go back to our minigames list file, click our SCSS, and then type in dot container. And remember, this works by applying CSS to a element with a class that equals container. The dot means class. Then we can paste, then click save. And now if we refresh our page, everything will be a little farther away from the left. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is start to center everything. So if we right click minigames, it'll bring us to this H1, which is easy access to our container. So we're going to click display. We're going to type in display, flex, flex dash direction. We're going to set that to column so it goes up and down everything in this container. But then we can type in justify content and type in center. And then align items center. And that's going to bring everything into the middle for us. So then we're going to have to copy all of this too. And then we're going to just hit enter and add it down here. Alright, so now we're going to click our cards container. And we're going to set our width to be 100%. And this is going to set the width of the cards container to be the width of the parent div. And because the parent div has the margin, it makes the width smaller. So the cards container is going to be the exact same size. So then we're going to go back to here, type in cards container, and set our width to be 100%. Okay, so now I'm going to paste a link in the URL. And it's going to be a link to a drive with a bunch of different assets that I'm going to be sharing for you guys. So I'm going to paste this in the description of our YouTube video, and I'll also include it in the LMS. If you're not watching this video on one of those two things and you're watching it on something else, unfortunately, you're going to have to type in this link directly, which is a little bit annoying. But make sure you type in exactly what it says. Uppercase characters are important, dashes are important, question marks are important. Type it in character by character, and then click enter. So you're going to see this folder. You're going to right click assets, and you are going to click download. It'll say preparing download, zipping one file, and then just wait for it to complete. Okay, so once it's done, go to your downloads folder and right click this assets, and then extract files, then click OK. Then you'll see this new folder. You're going to go into it, go into assets, then highlight everything and hit Control C. Next, go back to your folder in your desktop. So we're in our arcade tutorial BL. You're going to open source. You're going to open assets. You're just going to delete what's in here and then paste what I've got. Okay, so there's an icon we're going to use. This is the Unity game that I've included. And we've got backgrounds and stuff. So now that we have that included, we can move on. We are going to set the background of the page to be our background.png. I thought this looked sort of arcadey. So we're going to type in ion-content and then -- background URL, and then in brackets assets / background.png, and then we're just going to see if that works. It did not, because we have to put /assets. Okay, so now our background is set, and basically what's going on here is Ionic has this ion content, which is basically the body if you did our HTML tutorial. And we're just setting its background variable, which is done a little bit different in Ionic, to our background.png. Okay, so we're going to notice that our minigames header is now hard to see. So we're going to type in .header and then set the color to be hashtag or # 9 CDCF0 semicolon and then save. Okay, and for reference, if you go to Google and type in HTML color codes, you can get a list of that with the code. So you can pick whatever color you want. We don't need to worry about the minigame name yet because we are going to have the background color of our card different. Okay, so we're going to go back to our list and we're going to find our image and we're going to set its source to be dot dot slash assets slash multiplying invaders.png. It's a super cheesy title, I know, but I incorporated math into the Unity game. Okay, so now we have our card. It's not looking so good, but it's there. So we are going to set the width of our card to be 31%. It's not going to make any changes yet, but you'll notice it later. Next, we're going to set the background color to be Alice blue. Now you'll notice everything isn't centered, so we're going to type in display flex dash direction column, and then we're going to align the items to the center. We're going to give it a height of 300 pixels. We're going to justify our content to the center. We're going to give it a border radius of 25 pixels. And then we'll give it a margin of 1%. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, we set the width to 31%. And the reason why is because when we have a bunch of cards, we're going to want 3 per row. So if it's 31%, that's going to mean only 3 can fit. But it's going to give it a little bit of leeway. We could have set it to 33.3%, but then they would be right on top of each other. We want a little bit of space. We set the background color to be Alice blue. So this wasn't a color code, but if you delete Alice blue, you'll notice there's just a bunch of colors already created for you. We set its display to flex, our flex direction to column so that it's up and down. And then we aligned everything to the center so that it was no longer stuck at the start. We manually set its height. This just gives us more room to work with. We justified our content to the center, which made it vertically justified to the center. The border radius is how sharp the border is. So we can adjust this however we want. I set it to 25 pixels because I think it looks good, but you don't have to have it like that. Honestly, now that I'm looking back at it, I think maybe like 20 looks better. We'll leave it at 20. Margin 1%, just indents it a little bit from the side. And now we're going to copy all of this. And we are going to add it to our card class. So as you can see, using CSS, we've already made a huge difference. Next, we are going to give our image a class. And this is going to be card-image. And then we just want to set its border radius to be the same as our card. So we'll go 20 pixels. Refresh our page, see if it looks good. Okay. I actually think that might be a bit too much on the image. Let's bring it down to 10. Awesome, so this looks way better already. The next thing we're going to do is make our text be a little bit bigger. So we'll right click it, click inspect, and then set our font size to be 25 pixels. That seems to be pretty good. We're going to set our margin to be 0, and that way we can adjust it. So we'll do margin dash top, and we'll just set it to like 10%. Okay, so this is looking pretty good now. We could make the font a little bit bigger, maybe make the margin a little less so that it's centered. I like 6. Then we're going to copy it. card dash title. And then remember we have to add a class of card dash title to our p tag. We'll refresh our page. Okay, so our card is looking awesome. Now we're going to add 3 cards. So we're just going to duplicate it. You're going to notice it is going vertical. So we need to set our cards container to be a display flex of type row. So we'll click our cards container, display flex, and it will automatically be type, our flex direction will automatically be row. That's the default value. We're actually going to make probably about 5 of them, just so we can see the next row. And then where's our cards container? Oh, we haven't done it yet. So cards, have we not done cards container? No, we did. We're going to set our display to flex like we did a minute ago. Okay, so you're going to notice that everything is being squished. And the reason why is because in Flexbox, it automatically tries really hard to just fit everything into the exact same row because we told it to go into a row. An easy way to fix this is typing in flex-wrap and then just set it to wrap. So that's basically going to say if it's supposed to wrap around, then allow it to do so. So then we're just going to add it to here. Refresh our page and everything should be good. You'll notice it changes size depending on how big we have the screen. It will automatically do that.